Good afternoon, attendees. Welcome to Osteoporosis and Fall Prevention Festival organized by Satacom Health. My name is Huda and I'm your MC for today. Let's welcome our esteemed speaker, Ms. Sutharani Selvam, who holds a Bachelor in Physiotherapy and Master of Health Service Management. Ms. Sutha has a wide range of experience working with elderly and seniors in the community sector in Singapore for more than 16 years, helping them to reintegrate into the community upon successful rehabilitation. She also has a special interest in technology advancements as well as a growing elderly population facing challenges to keep fit and improve quality of life. Today, she'll be talking about fitness using technology as the way of preventing fall. Take note that you're only able to ask questions during the Q&A sessions at the end of the talk through either the Q&A box, chat box, or you can raise your hand and we will unmute you. Now, I will pass the time to Ms. Sutharani Selvam.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sudha. Thank you, Huda, for the nice introduction. I'm Sudha, Senior Physiotherapist working in Amokyo Community Hospital to take care of people who undergo rehabilitation. And I'm especially interested in technology advancements, which helps to prevent falls and also to improve the fitness among the elderly community. So the next 45 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the technology which is used to improve fitness, and that helps to prevent the falls among elderly people. So now I'm going to share screen. The topic today I'm going to focus on the fitness using technology is a new way to prevent fall. So why technology? Technology is inseparable in human lives in today's lives, especially during pandemic. And how are we going to use this technology to improve fitness to prevent fall? So the next 45 minutes, what I'm going to talk about, the content are as follows. Overview of Singapore aging population, falls risk factors, role of fitness on fall prevention, technology for fitness for elderly people, recommendations, and take-home messages. According to Singapore Department of Statistics, the older population are categorized into young old, who are 65 years old to 74 years old, and medium old, 75 to 84 years old, oldest old, who are 85 years old and above. So the people who are not categorized as older are not completely old. They also have young, old, medium old, and oldest old. Let's look at population growth by 2026. Now is 2021. In 5 years' time, 1 in 5 are 65 years old. Our population is growing rapidly. Advanced aging population is going to hit largely. That is going to be a challenging in terms of healthcare cost and healthcare manpower and also the population health. 1 in 5 older people will be reporting fall in a year, and 1 in 5 falls will be having a complicated injuries. Why population is growing very fast is basically because of medical advancement technology and also decreased or reduced fertility rate, and people are living longer. So the falls rate in the community, 35 to 45% of the falls reported in the age group of 65 years old and above every year. And this falls is increasing to 50% of incidence for population over 80 years old. And people are getting older, and older people are getting weaker as well. So there are people who are getting weaker and there are people who are getting stronger. So there are frail community and non-frail elderly population. So the frails are the ones having a higher risk of falls. So we need to understand as people age, they also have a collective geriatric syndrome like, decreased muscle mass and increased weakness and lethargic and a lot of disease affecting their community mobility. So that increases the risk of falling. And they are having a sedentary lifestyle because of the older age. So we need to address how can increase physical activity, and if they have increased physical activity, they can actually have they can actually reverse the frailty process. So people who are living in the community are making a good lifestyle in an active way, even though they are non even though they are elderly people, but they are not frail, they are not weak, and they are walking slower. That is not really a predictive factor to fall in the future. So this is proven in an evidence. So people who are highly active will be able to reduce the falls. Okay, so what is falls? Falls is unexpected event in which a person unintentionally comes to ground, floor, and lower level. One third of the fallers fall again in the following year. So once a person had a fall, is going to fall again in the next year. So the falls risk is getting higher. So before the fall happens, we need to understand there are some strategies that helps to prevent the falls. And if the person has a fall, it is highly associated with poor quality of life, anxiety, and definitely there is an increased stress on caregivers who are helping to care for the people. And falls is one of the second leading cause of death related injuries that puts extra stress on healthcare system as well as increased healthcare cost. Thereby we need to understand falls prevention is very very important. And also it definitely has undesirable impacts in addition to what I have mentioned just now. The hospitalization directly related to increased healthcare cost, and that also increases the burden for the caregiver stress. 56% of the hospitalization happens because of the falls related trauma, and 30 to 70% of the cases are having a depressive syndrome, that is fear of fall. Because of the fear of fall, they are tend to limit their mobility themselves, and most of them are not daring to go out of the community. They're not keeping themselves active because I may be falling again, and eventually that leads to disability and also the institutionalization, which again puts increased healthcare burden and cost. 5 to 10% of the people will have a femur fracture. That is also one of the highest complication after the falls. So once the patient have high risk of, once the patient have a higher femur fractures, and they will also have a reduced functional capacity. And because of the fall, 6% of the urgent hospitalization occurs, and because of this, emergency departments would have a lot of admission rates. And falls risk factors. Actually, the risk factors for the falls are multifactorial, and definitely if the older people are having symptoms related to age, so there are biological factors which we can't modify. Person will grow older, and the vision and hearing may have a decreased ability, and the persons also will have a reduced muscle strength. And also there are other pathological conditions that will predispose the risk of falls, that is ranging from neurological, musculoskeletal conditions and cardiovascular conditions, genitourinary conditions, gastrointestinal like diarrhea, hemorrhage, psychiatric depressive syndrome, endocrine and internal medicine syndrome. Other than that, if the people are on certain medications already, and that might also lead to falls. And environmental risk factors like loose rugs, carpets, and poor lighting, or even excessive lighting, uneven floorings, all might lead to falls. So, all other modifiable factors can be modified, and the diseases can be intervened, and medications can be reviewed. In addition to all these things, one of the main other risk factors is actually the reduced muscle strength and poor functional capacity. So fitness is actually the key to prevent falls. In community dwelling patients, we have seen a long list of risk factors. If the risk factors increases from 1 to 4 or more, the risk of fall is very high, from 10 percentage to 69 percentage. So it's very important to address the fitness level of the community people to prevent falls. So we are talking about falls and falls prevention. And what is the elderly's perspective? How are they going to face it? Is it a part of aging? Is the fall acceptable? Actually, falls are avoidable. Falls are preventable. How am I going to prevent it? We can help you with the tips and safety advice to prevent the falls. Am I fit? Yes, there are ways to make yourself fit. And definitely there will be another question, because we are living in this current world where you cannot live away or you cannot get away with the technology. Is there any technology to prevent falls? And am I able to use? Is that simple? Is it very expensive? Anyone can help. So a lot of questions lingering in their mind. So elderly people are supposed to be aware of falls prevention education, fall prevention programs that is run by many organizations. And this is one of the biggest event where elderly people can get advice and also can approach the initiatives they have taken to prevent falls and to keep them healthy. So false risk assessment, one of the study has actually proved that using technology and innovative methods, how we can actually assess the false risk. Using the three-tier model, tier one, which is assessment that covers all adults over the age of 65. So the basic resource is actually to evaluate the risk and modified 30 seconds to stand. And the technology and innovation available for this is body worn monitors like iCap, iTag, iSway, iGate, Gate Up smartphone applications, robotic devices like pusher and bar. Tier 2 prevention. Adults at risk of falling but no previous fall. So the risk assessment has been done and the resources available: exercises, Tai Chi, yoga, technology and innovation that also helps to identify these things by exergaming, wristband sensors, and soul sensors. Tier 3 intervention. Adults who have experienced falls already, and the resources are physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and some of the falls prevention programs already established. Technology and innovation, real time treadmill, Locomat, Rewalk, Indigo, and also the balance. So we can focus on fitness, especially to prevent falls among elderly people. If the people is fit and they can improve their strength and balance to reduce falls, and not only to prevent falls, and also the conditions associated with older age, that is called osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a decreased bone mass that leads to risk of falls, and any fall that associated with osteoporosis will result into fractures of spine or hip fractures that is even debilitating. So fitness is very important for elderly, and not only for elderly, fitness has to be started as young as the person is. Why fitness? As I mentioned to you before, it reverses the frailty process. So the person feels become stronger, and as they old, they also can keep active and stay active and keep fit to reverse the frailty process. Because of that, as person ages, they also have to keep themselves active. So this is fitness is one of the main component to keep the population achieving active aging. So, what is active aging? It's a condition of being alive and having functioning metabolic, hormonal, and neuroendocrine control in the absence of debilitating conditions. So active aging is major factor to keep one person as fit. And since fall prevention education is gaining attention, exercise and fitness are recommended largely among all the population with a moderate intensity for 30 minutes for 5 or more days. So, what is moderate intensity? In simpler terms, when the person is exercising, and if the person is exercising, they feel slightly breathless, but they are still able to talk. So that is a rough guide to understand that the person is doing moderate intensity exercises. And what are the types of exercises recommended to keep fit or to lead a healthy lifestyle? Balance and strengthening exercises, especially for the hip muscles, knee muscles, and ankle muscles. Tai Chi is one of the proven Chinese exercises, which is to improve balance and also the flexibility of the muscles that helps to reduce falls prevention. This has been proven in many of the studies. And not only physical exercises, and also the psychomotor exercises that involves brain training, the game that can motivate, that can improves lots of thinking and attention, and also the flexibility exercises. So technology is so these are the exercises traditionally we do in a group or individually, and how the technology is going to help to lead active and healthy lifestyle. So technology for exercises, in general, technology is slowly getting adopted by the elderly people. And elderly people, some of the elderly people are really modern already, and some people are getting to know about the technology and understanding the importance of it. And especially, they are very used to use the technology like computer and smartphones to stay connected to the loved ones and to understand what is going around the world, and especially when the elderly people are restricted to go out, especially during the pandemic period, they can actually make use of the technology to stay active and also lead a healthy life. So that's how the society, the whole society has been transformed, the way how we live. And technology is used to do a lot of things like buying things and doing exercises and monitor my own health. So there are so many other technologies um, is actually involved in everyone's life. So the society has been transformed from from the traditional way of living to the way of living with the technology. So, in order to keep it useful, and the adoption is really a key. And why the technology? Because there is a recent and development in the information and communication technology. So, when the world is developed with technology in everything, and the technology is also has to address the people who really have to keep themselves active and healthy, so we can make use of technology to keep ourselves fit and healthy. So in fitness, the technology is useful, especially when the people are need to access to the care center and transportation is required. So when there is a limitation of transportation outside, and the technology is used to be used at home, so without the need to transport outside to the care center in order to get the services required for falls prevention or for the health improvement, can access from the home itself. And also using the technology, we can understand that some elderly are not even reporting the falls timely, and sometimes it is not even reported. So it is not attended at all. So if the technology is in place, this can be identified and timely intervention can be done, and the problem is addressed. And technology is also used to track one's own progress and one's fitness level. So by using technology, we can empower elderly population to take care of their own activity level and also to improve the fitness. So by achieving all these, the older people can improve the quality of life. Okay, so technology at the moment, and in Singapore, we do have health hub apps that actually encourages people to monitor their own health and also health related activities. So this can be useful for elderly people if they are educated, if they are understanding the process of it, they can actually use that. And one other phone apps called as for Keep On Keep Up, which is developed in UK and gaining popular, especially during pandemic period. People who are used to go out and do exercises in a group or in a community are not able to go out because of the pandemic period. So the people, the IT has developed app called Keep On and Keep Up, which is Cuckoo, which can be downloaded using the App Store or an or iStore to improve the exercises on to strength and balance. And this is very useful, and this is very useful and very effective and um, low cost as well. So this is one of the best app recognized during pandemic period in UK. And wearable technology, many of the elderly are also used to wear wrist wears, ankle wears to track their own activity and also to improve their own vital signs, yeah, monitor their own vital signs, improve their fitness. So by these technologies, the simplest technologies, one person can actually improve their exercise capacity and also to reduce the falls. So this technology basically in falls prevention, it helps to evaluate the falls and also it helps to prevent, detection and monitoring. So there are so many other technologies to available to prevent, evaluate, detect and monitor. But here we are focusing on the technology which is used to improve fitness, thereby to reduce the falls. And the example of technology mainly for improving the fitness among the elderly, virtual reality and some gaming component technologies. For example, Exergame, MyFit and Kinect and also the Gymtronics. So all these exercises technologies will use simulated environments and also very interactive environment for the elderly so that they can actually have fun during exercises. And some equipments are easy to use and elderly can be elderly friendly and they can actually monitor their own progress and they can adjust the exercises themselves. So technology for improving fitness is basically fun, simple, innovative and also interactive, and many times it is portable and also low cost. So when it is fun and simple, the usability and then the intention to use is also high. Thereby, the technology is helping to improve the fitness of the elderly people. So one of the uh, many studies have actually proved that Exergame is improving elderly population's fitness, and also it has been noted that it reduces the falls among the elderly. Why it is not only safe and also the effective. This definitely has lots of fun elements and enjoyable for the elderly people and very interactive. They can get immediate feedbacks about their performance and also encouragement and motivation to to improve further. So the simulative environment will also give them a different kind of experience when they are at home or in their comfort space. And these games are designed to address motor and also the cognitive aspects, and it is proven that it has reduced the risk of falling. However, we have talked about technology, which is useful to improve fitness and also the falls prevention. And definitely, technology also has barriers um, to use for the elderly population, especially elderly will may have impairments of physical or cognitive status and visual and auditory and also motor control ability. Sometimes the person is not able to use or they cannot control, and they might have hearing problems, so it is very difficult to use the technology. And some people have I know mental attitude like privacy concerns, and privacy concerns, or is it secure or is it safe? I'm actually seen on the screen, is it safe? So this kind of concerns also there. And definitely some kind of technology which has robotic elements, and that definitely takes away the human touch. And so the technology should not actually get away with the visitations from the visitations or any calls. So these are the barriers considered using technology. So based on all these things, what is our recommendation for the elderly population? Evaluation of false risk. So false risk evaluation is very important, so we can mitigate the risk, and we can look at the strategies that helps to reduce the false risk. And keep active, stay active regardless of age. So this is a habit, so behavior is also playing a role to keep to in order to keep active. And broaden the network, and utilize the resources that is available in the community, and it is never too late to start. Encourage people around you, support from family, healthcare providers, and government. Elderly people who are using technology or also has to be supported by the family member and friends, and we need to educate them how to use the technology. At the same time, we have to understand the difficulties of using it, and we also have to check with them how the things are going. Okay, we do have a lot of questions in the chat box. We will go through later one by one. Okay, so the take-home message in Singapore, there was active aging initiative that has Move It Feel Strong. This has attracted many of the elderly people to go out and then take part in the exercise classes regularly. Thereby, they can actually keep themselves fit. So this helps to reduce the falls. And when there is a restriction in pandemic period, lockdown period, people are not allowed to go out. People are not allowed to mingle. So in that case, this particular program have gone online, and people can only. But anyway, this has to be registered. So this is done via online. So they are signing up for this Zoom activity, and they have engaged in this active program to stay active. So this is one of the falls prevention initiative taken by Health Promotion Board. And Health 365 app is also one of the known app in order to keep active, not only, and also to follow the healthy lifestyle by following this app. So sign up for fall screening program, know your falls risk and manage them timely, keep active, stay strong, and also stay connected. And if you are at risk, you are not alone, and this can be addressed, and share the knowledge around you. So I have come to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for paying attention. If you have any questions, please you can actually ask or you can type in the chat box. Thanks, Sata, for organizing this wonderful festival and giving me opportunity to share what I have known. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me see the questions. Okay, I see from, okay. There is a question from Palm New. What is improving quality of life? Uh, okay, improving quality of life. Generally, quality of life is a subjective feeling. A person feels healthy and comfortable and leading a healthy life, and that is quality of life. And when elderly person is restricted in a lot of activities and fear of fall, definitely the quality of their life and their perception of life will be limited. So if we encourage them to keep active and then address the risk factors, there will be a chance, higher chance to improve the quality of life. The which okay, another question from I can read. Which are the games that Tai Hua Kwan Hospital has tried and tested are all that you have introduced? Technology are used on one-to-one basis or one-to-many? Does technology really helps in reducing manpower resources and improve outcome? Can share more which are the one highly recommended based on your daily practice. In Tai Hua Kwan Hospital, we have a few games technology that is used for treating the patients. And especially we do have a Gymtronic system, which is virtual rehabilitation system, where a patient can actually improve their strength and balance and improve the exercise capacity. So we have been testing on patients with stroke population and also patients with deconditioning to improve their fitness level. This most of the time, this two technology, the Gentronics technology, is used one-to-one basis because this the computer technology has to sense the body motion. So there should be a field where one person has to follow exercises using the screen. So there is so far one to one, but there is a system available to do one to group as well, one to few uh, persons. Okay, so there is another. Hope I have answered the question. And can seniors go to evaluate? When can seniors go to evaluate false risk? Seniors can go to evaluate false risk. So if you look at the fall screening program, there will be a few assessment questionnaires, and if there is a criteria, if there is any yes to three or more questions, you are at risk of falls. Then you can actually go to address the problems, and then these individual problems has to be addressed by relevant referrals. So for example, if the person has vision impairment, and the person has to be referred to an ophthalmologist to further check. And any senior above 65 years old can go to evaluate the false risk. they can go to any public health practitioner, or currently there is one program which is done by Alexandra Health. It's a 1 year pilot study from MOH. It's also this initiative actually screening patients for falls. And Ellen Lee, question from Ellen. May I know how do we do balancing exercise to practice at home? Okay, so at home there is a simple exercises to improve balance. For example, you can, the hands are supported. This has to be done in a standing. Okay, so standing with supported. You can hold on to the chair, and then the simple exercises like, raise your heels and down, raise your heels down, and you can actually do one leg stance. Okay, lift up your one leg. You're standing with supported and standing on one leg, and count for 10 seconds and alternate it. So you can do it. So that's also a balance exercise. And also you can slowly hold on to one side, and you can move your trunk forward and sideways, which is also a balance exercise. So these are the simple exercises you can actually perform at home. May I know how do we do balance? Okay, I think that's the question. Is there a community clinic on the use of technology for seniors? Community clinic. So far, community clinic I have never come across. Um, Maybe we can actually talk about the day rehab centers, which is actually addressing people who have been already referred to day rehab centers through institution. Otherwise, it's not a community clinic, but we can actually make use of active SG genes and the technology. Basically there, if they have V or Kinect. I'm not very sure about the community clinic that uses technology for seniors though. And there is another question, where can we get Exergame? Thanks. Okay, Exergame is available in the market, and many of the rehab solutions technologies will have this Exergame. And in Singapore, I didn't come across any place. How do I sign up for fall screening program? There is a website for fall screening program. I think it's very simple to type fall screening program Singapore in the Google. Definitely that leads to you. That will make you land on the correct page, which is currently ongoing. Thank you for all the info, Palm New. Thank you very much as well. And can't find the Keep On and Keep Up app on Play Store. Okay, last week, 2 weeks ago, I think, I have downloaded that app, Keep On and Keep Up app. So that is very useful. Actually following it up. It's from the Play Store. If you are using an Android phone, and also iPhone have. So I think you can try again. Keep home. Okay, if you type keep home workout trainer, keep up and keep go. You may try keep home workout trainer. That's similar to keep up and keep on, keep up. Yeah, and I saw the video shown from yesterday's talk about exercises that can be done at home. May I know the frequency required to be effective? The frequency, 30 minutes for 5 days or more. So that's the intensity required to to keep yourself active and lead a healthy life. So please try to do at least 30 minutes in a day. And I'm quite prone to fall, but I'm only for 55. Understand that you mentioned one needs to be 65 to be evaluated. Absolutely not. It's common incidence among 65 years old and above. But if people tend, there are fallers who are younger than 65, and if you already know that prone to fall, there is a tendency to fall higher. You have to quickly checked out, and you need to be screened thoroughly and why it is happening, and we need to rule out the possible risk, and we have to address this. You don't have to wait until 65. If you're prone to fall and if you find that this is really disturbing, and you have to get it quickly checked. Is it okay for seniors to do aerobics, Zumba, dumbbell lifting, etc.? It's all right for seniors to do aerobics, Zumba, dumbbell. The Zumba is a high intensity activity. Aerobics is very good exercises also, and dumbbell lifting is also to improve muscle strength and fitness. So it is okay for seniors to do aerobics. Please keep doing it. It's called Keep Home Workout Trainer. It's similar app, and yes, Melinda Tan has mentioned it's called Keep Home Workout Trainer. Yeah, this is the one exactly I have downloaded for myself. And Keep the Coco one exactly cannot find out, but this is available in App Store. Probably it's one of the um, it's one of the proven app and also the popular app developed during pandemic. I missed the place you mentioned about false check. Um, okay, it's Alexandra. Let me find out the exact locations. Okay, this one, the full details I can actually pass to SATA organizer. If you are able to provide your email, then we can send you. And quickly, if you did that, one of the quickest way to find out is also from the Health Hub app. If you are able to open a Health Hub app, you can also yes, refer to the locations like Sunlove Marsling Seniors Activity Center, Chongpang Social Service Hub, Woodlands Galaxy Community Club, Wellness for Life. Okay, so you can call them. Actually, definitely you can find out these information in details from Health Hub app. And there is a false risk assessment which is fully funded, and it is only for 1 year period. So you can please go ahead and sign up for it. Please email your request. Yes, correct. Yeah. Thank you so much for asking all the questions. I hope I have answered. Ellen Lee is asking, do we need to bring patient to Tai Hwa Kwan to do exercise? May I know how much? Thanks. Tai Hwa Kwan is actually taking patients through hospital referrals, and so the patient, I mean, the person has, like, the patients are already patient from institution, and they require further follow-up rehab services, so they are benefiting from the Tai Hwa Kwan. Still can't locate the workup app. Can you show us the icon? Can I request for videos from all the seminars via WhatsApp or emails? I think SATA is in the best place to provide answers to this question. And the WorkUp app, can you show us the icon? Okay, I think Esther Leon, I think this information is also will be given to SATA, and you can contact them to get the details. So I have taken note of the requirements, and we will help you with the required information as soon as possible. Melinda has commented that to download an app, please be mindful or any subscription charges before you unknowingly subscribe, which may cost you. Yes, that's correct as well. Yeah, and many of the apps definitely cost money, and we have to be very careful whether it's free. Okay. Okay, we have come to the presentation, and now I'm passing over to Fuda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sutta, for your beneficial sharing, and thank you attendees for attending this talk. If you're interested to have the slide that is presented by Ms. Sutta earlier on today, drop us an email at mediacontact@sata.com.sg, or if you have any inquiries, you can call our hotline at 6244. Sorry, hold on. 6244-6688. I repeat, 6244-6688. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.